Last time, on whatever this series is called.
Oh, look what we have here. These green guys, Sarah. Oh my god, that did not just happen.
What the hell?
Quick, still, there is the first Fugly and Ken just runs by. There are two more that could be close actually. Big damage going down, he might need to heal.
Oh boy.
That went too quick for me.
Matt, speaking of dangerous, a lot of enemies and damn Ken already down again. And still more stun snakes and horned nibblers streaming in as Euleri also gets dangerously low and they have to make something work here.
This dungeon is going to kill them all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. 3 teams have made it through the first half of the game. And by now we can see that things really are heating up. And right now we have Rakya and Elise here on the line. How are you doing, ladies?
Hey there.
Well, we are hanging in there.
Last floor was pretty tough for you, losing 2 team members, finding the exit only in the very end after waves and waves of monsters. How are you holding up? Do you still think you can make it?
No worries. Those kids were weak, but we got the tag now, and we and we got me. So, yeah.
Well, we have to be careful, but I've trained for this and I won't go down easy. You can bet on that.
Good to hear you're confident. Also, I hear you two have some history together. Elise was the one responsible for putting you into jail after all. Any thoughts on that?
I first planned to take her down in the end, but we're good now.
Yeah, Rakya here had some very interesting information for me. We'll work together a little longer once we make it out.
Right.
Now the floor is already about to start. Any thoughts on the other 2 teams?
The robot and whatever the other one is will be tough. They'll probably make it a little longer still.
But the cook and the professor are done for, if you ask me. We'll go down like a Windows firewall.
Well, we will see about that, but for now, thank you for your time and good luck in floor 7. The teams head off into the floor, and if they are able to make it, we will talk to Josh and Anor next time. Now, Matt, are you able to speak by now?
Definitely. And I have to say it was great to hear the ladies' voices for once. Though I expected Elise's voice to be a bit deeper, to be honest. But she sounds cute. And who knows, she might even like me.
I highly doubt that.
Huh? Why? What's wrong with me?
She's a video game character. That's what's wrong with you.
Right. Josh and Nanor, of course, also started this floor with a missing team member, but as we speak, they have in fact found a stasis chamber, and yes, Golgi Pertiva back on the playing field here. Not as great as Ken in terms of DPS, but she comes with her own perks, of course, and with the right equipment, I can see this work.
Definitely, you have to keep one thing in mind though. Golgi cannot only not use weapons, she's also very fragile, so they need to be very careful when placing her in bigger fights. Just remember the original Golgi back there in the middle of all those turrets.
Yeah, caught me completely off guard back then. Now, what about our last team, Aseptarish and Oppot? I have to say I can understand Rakya and Elise when they say they expect them to make it even further. Quite an impressive performance up to now.
Well, there was that random level up of Oppot a while ago, which lost a max, but apart from that I have to agree, they seem to have a very firm grip on what they can get away with and whatnot.
They didn't get the best start here though. 3 different paths stretching out from the core, that is definitely not the easiest way to defend. And they are probably hoping that at least one of them will turn into a dead end quickly so they can work on powering that as soon as possible.
On the other hand, they found an artifact already and are constantly researching, and their equipment isn't too bad either. Although they are almost losing module right there, as Aseptarish has to make use of his endlessly adaptive ability to grant a little HP regen to it.
Right, these mobs are advanced mod mosquitoes and already pose a serious threat on their own.
And no defensive modules from Aseptarish and Oppot yet. Rakya and Elise also have found a new team member in Max Arcane, and while he can operate and boost research early, he's also a decent door opener, but they really have to be careful not to lose him again.
Yeah, we know by now how quickly rookies can go down before they find proper equipment, but nice job there, kiting a little back and forth and dealing with the situation the way it's supposed to be dealt with.
Right, and the big advantage here is that while Max can open doors, he wouldn't be as useful when operating, because he's too weak to defend a room on his own at the moment. But with another level up, there comes another bit of confidence, and for now we only have to see how much dust they can find before it gets really dangerous. And how much equipment, of course.
Yep, never underestimate the equipment. But as we could see just now, Josh and Anna just found an aftershave, and that is such a valuable piece of equipment right there. It might have a dorky name, but whoever carries it will be completely ignored by any monsters. So it's basically the opposite of the hipster scarf, which somehow makes me assume that hipsters don't wear aftershave.
Would be interesting to hear if that was the intended message here. Maybe one of the guys over at Amplitude Studios can clear that up at some point. But for now, yes, it is indeed a very valuable piece of equipment, and in my opinion a perfect match for Golgi.
Nano is still wearing the scarf though, but they are able to take it out in time. Alright. Matt, what do you think about Rakya's statement that Josh and Nano are, quote, done for? I feel like they aren't holding up so bad after all.
Well, I guess we both are a little biased. But I agree, they are holding up for now. But they had a lot of luck up to this point, especially in the early levels. But on the other hand, Rakya might just be the reason Sarah and Ken went down so quickly. I feel like she's not taking the whole thing seriously enough.
Oh, there's another Fugly and Nano chooses to run away and just take the explosion. And I'm not sure if that was one or two, and now they have to heal up.
Oh, but there are two more and the situation got very severe very quickly and they know what's up. Healing up right now, it is too late to unequip the scarf and they will probably have to take both explosions here and need to heal up again immediately after that.
And can they do it? 1, 2, where's the pause? That was not what Golgi Pertiva wanted when she joined Josh and Nanor here. Nanor also almost went down, but at least he can be healed back up. And the team is again back to 3 members. Those Fuglies, man.
Yeah, nobody loves them. They have literally no friends.
Uppod and Aseptaraj in the meantime seem to struggle to keep their modules intact, but I kinda like what he's doing here. Aseptaraj re-equipping in between waves, just to get repairs done without having to move one of the other operators. Very nice touch there, but oh, there's more explosions going on for Team Josh and Nano. They just don't seem to get a moment of rest here.
Right, and by now I really think they should probably consider unequipping the scarf for a while. All those Fuglies cost them so many heals, and at least some of them could be killed off before detonating, but Nano sticks to it for now, and as long as they have enough heals to compensate, they should be fine, although it's still quite costly here.
Yeah, all those crystal pests as well, that is damage that could easily be avoided. But yeah, Dungeon of the Endless is not an easy game after all, and there are so many different aspects to constantly keep in consideration that it can almost be expected to overlook things every now and then.
Oh, and look at that, it is only floor 7 and the first pit boss has already arrived for Aseptaraj and Uppod, indicated by the symbol on the left side here.
Wow, that is indeed quite early, and now they have 2 ways to approach this. Either clear everything first and then engage him, or rush someone over there to stop him from growing right now.
Right, and it looks like Aseptaraj and Uppod have decided to clear the waves first and engage him afterwards, but the pit boss of course grants additional buffs to all enemies on the floor with each new form he takes. But at least he's not leaving his room.
Right, and that means that the team can actually heal up if need be before engaging him. Autodoc shards are up, and while he will most likely be in his final form by then, they should be able to take him out anyway.
I think you're overthinking it. There weren't so many mobs after all, and by the looks of it, that is only his second or maybe third form, so not a real danger, but rather a first taste of what will become everyday business soon.
Exactly, and I'm very excited to see that. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of Rakya and Elise lately, but I guess they are holding up alright. Although that looks like a huge rave right there, to be honest. Lots of turrets are up though. Tesla Towers level 4 to be exact, Dust Field Generator, Pepper Spray. But still, they seem like they're having a hard time there.
They should be prepared to deal with it as long as they're focused enough. Fighting on 2 fronts, the health warning goes off repeatedly, and Max decides to fall back here and his health is dropping dangerously low as he makes his way through a room while the rest of the team stands strong, guns blazing. Look at the team's health bars, they are such an intense fight.
But they only need to hang in a little longer, as I think the critical amount of enemies is already down, and with all that firepower the rest is cleared up as well, and the team holds. And Matt, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure they are very happy with a smooth performance like that. Very nicely done.
I agree, and they didn't even activate all abilities and are ready and prepared to deal with another wave of enemies, as Rakya still has her health warning ability ready, and of course there are a lot of defenses down. But by now both other teams in fact have decided to leave the floor early, not opening all doors, as it is getting very dangerous by now. So while Rakya and Elise open a few more doors in the background, we are switching to Josh and Nano now, who are leaving yet another floor with only 3 team members.
Right, but it looks like they aren't done being greedy just yet, as they will open one more door before grabbing the crystal, it looks like. Oh, or 2 of course, because reasons.
Wow, what a cheeky move. Well, as long as they can pull it off, why not? But still, a rather bold decision there. But we will see, of course, if they can actually pull it off, as the crystal gets grabbed right now.
And the pause goes down immediately, but looking at the map, the path to the elevator is almost fully powered, so they should be fine. But the dungeon apparently not too happy about Josh and Nano leaving already. More doors open by themselves, while Mormish even goes to have a quick talk with the merchant here. Ooh, grabbing a very valuable piece of armor as well, but they really need to get going now before they are brutally reminded not to overstay their welcome here.
Well, they are taking their sweet time, but The pause makes it possible, and they can of course only take 4 items with them to the next floor, so that's actually a smart thing to do here. And now they are on their way, and Josh even turns around one more time to return to Mormish and give his chair a little boost, and now they really have to get going. Those fuglies don't care too much just yet, but there's also 2 unpowered rooms further ahead, so...
Whoops, yep, and one goes off just now, another replies with a quick heal, and for some reason he's still wearing that scarf, but on the other hand he's carrying the crystal as well, so does it really matter? The whole floor is after him anyway, so for him it's just run, Nano, run! And I love that he actually made it. They must be so happy with themselves right now.
Very impressive indeed. The cook and the professor are not done for just yet, and next up are Eseptarsh and Opbot, and looking at the map we can quickly see that they will have a lot less trouble reaching the exit, and I'm almost surprised they didn't stick around longer to open more doors.
Well, it's still easier to run and fight here, but anyway, long story short, they will join us in floor 8 as well.
And that only leaves Rakya and Elise now, who were in fact the only team able to open every door of this level, and that alone is quite an impressive feat when looking at the other 2 teams.
Actually, yeah, pretty surprising, and personally I feel like by now they have in fact taken the lead position as the new favorite here, kicking Eseptarsh and Opbot off their throne for the time being.
I don't really like the concept of calling out favorites, but yeah, considering they were the only ones capable of clearing the entire floor, I have to agree, I guess. Now let's look at the numbers, shall we? Rakya and Elise obviously have caught up considerably regarding level ups, but all teams can still keep up for now.
I think it's a solid ground rule to say that each team member should try to reach at least the same level as the floor they are currently on, more or less.
Exactly. Now build orders can be described with one word.
As much food as possible.
I was about to say food, but yeah, although that's more than one word again.
You know what? You're right. Research. Both Eseptarsh and Opbot as well as Josh and Nanor have almost next to no weapon module upgrades yet, and I think that is super weird.
Well, there are of course some parallels here as well as in the other tech branches. For example, there's not one team who got the Holo Hero module or the Fire Suppression module, but that's easily explained as the guy who controls these teams simply doesn't like them as much, and therefore they weren't picked.
Well, it could also be that that very guy has never beaten this game before this tournament anyway.
True. He also never played on a very easy difficulty, but yeah, some people are just pretty one-directional.
Should we, like, make a One Direction joke now?
Do you know any?
Nah, not really.
I googled some, but to be honest, all of them are totally mean, and I don't even know one song of them, so it kinda feels inappropriate.
Well, maybe we could come up with one of our own. We just have to brainstorm for a little bit, but then...